Kazakh national handcrafts make up the precious roots of steppe culture. They provide an inside look into nomadic lives. The art of the nation who once lived upon the Great Steppe is pictured here through wood and iron processing, jewelry and felting. Many programs modernize the culture of hunting, falconry, horse training and racing. Take a look inside the Kazakh culture on the program KazArt. Satisfied to be a flying bird, galloping forward from a place of honor, Kulager has arrived first, among 300, among thousands. This description is inherent to Kulager of Akan Seri. The artist Muhamedkanapiya Ospanuly has been painting the image of the animal for about 8 months now. Kulager is not only a horse, he is a pirak, which is a magnificent winged horse. This describes the nature of the Kazakh people. Kulager is symbolic for his height. I'm using a pencil here to demonstrate contrast. Of course, some scribblings will happen. In general, what unites these images is the image of Kulager. It was a center of great culture at the time, and now we've been moving into another great culture. These developments have their sign, a prosperous Kazakhstan. Without intending any offense, the animal here is similar in image and appearance to the Kazakh people. Perhaps it is even impossible to find an artist nowadays who hasn't drawn the image of a horse on the Great Steppe. But the role of Kulager is very important. Kulager is the image of a horse, and that's why I paid attention to the poems of our poets about this horse. They describe the horse races and the barriers through which it had to move. We should do the most important things for our people, because being an artist implies great responsibility. An artist is a hero of culture and for which people are proud. Art and poetry must impress people. I've been enriched with complicated lines and Kazakh ornaments. A horse is like a man. Just seeing its color and its kind is of course different from physically meeting it. Perhaps it is the reason that not everyone is able to depict the image of a horse on the surface of the canvas.
Поэзия бұл дауыстағы живопись бұл көрініп тұрған поэзия деп. Яғни
Poetry is like painting with your voice, and painting in turn is like poetry. I mean that you describe the history and the destiny, the character and the feelings of the person. There are some paintings which look the same, and some portraits appear as if they were using stencils. At first it's funny, and then you realize it's a symbol of a lack of culture.
күлкісін келтіреді. Екіншіден бұл мәдениетсіздіктің белгісі.
Drawing on the surface of the canvas, the author is sometimes satisfied with his work and sometimes not. In such times, it's very important to ask the opinions of the masters of art. He has been working closely with the artist Mukhtar Sizdikov for a long time. Their workshop has been in the neighborhood for more than 30 years. He is the first critic who analyzes his work. The horse is like a man. It has feelings. It's not a simple horse. It has an inner philosophy. The Kazakh people have lived side by side with horses for a long time. The horse is close to the Kazakh people, and Kulager has its own philosophical concept. Regardless of whether it is an animal or a person, Muhamedkanapiya pays attention to the image of his hero from his childhood. He started drawing at the age of 6 and never gave up, even at school and when he was in the army. He entered artistry later, and his main work consists of portraits.
Адам бейнесі зерттеу ол мынау өнер суретшінің ішкі табиғатына байланысты. Сосын ол үшін кішкене мына дүниесінің
To research the image and the character of a person depends on the inner nature of the artist. The work appears after his research and analysis. Nowadays, many artists use oil paints and they make something. The artist mustn't make people be tired or become bored. It is a psychological education.
адам шаршатпау керек. Өнер бұл психологиялық не ғой, білім ол.
We can't say that he finishes his compositions quickly. As it was long ago, so it is now today. He researches his topics, which attracts his attention, and then he makes the image on the surface of the canvas. Your hands mustn't stop. Your eyes and hands must always be ready to fire. Then you've got to have a good aesthetic knowledge about the graphics of the world. At first sight, it looks like scribble, but then it gives some concept for people. One of his heroes who made the artist famous and is included in the list of honored people is the image of Abai.
Суреткер өзінше жаңағы Абайдың ішкі жан дүниесіне үңілу үшін
Each painter tries to search the inner nature of Abai, and they find in form and appearance. The portrait here demonstrates the opinion of the artist about his life. They give some details like these people or those bricks. These details make you follow different thoughts.
тудыратын, әртүрлі ойға жетелейтін, көп қырлы жаңағы ой туғызатын өздері олар детальдары бар. Сол арқылы жасайды.
The artist has been growing up searching the images of the sage Abai Kunanbayev since his childhood. He was frightened about drawing this portrait for a very long time. Perhaps this is why Muhamedkanapiya Ospanuly became famous with his portrait of Abai at the same time.
Мұны Абай жасағанда да кішкене мұны құрғақ портрет емес, оны құбылтып бұл копия сылқым күшін табып
The image of Abai is not a simple portrait. I connected nature and space, as well as the sound of the dumbra on the Kazakh steppe, the jumping of a horse, and an eagle and ornaments, because all of the above-mentioned things made Abai ponder. I made the image of the sage and the erudite with linear marks, and then I collected the harmony in my art of painting.
Сызықтың күшімен таңба, бояудың бір жиналған үндестігінен образын жасап бердім.
There are few artists who become famous for painting the image of a person and the art of painting. For example, Mona Lisa from Leonardo da Vinci and an Algerian woman of Picasso are considered to be diamonds of art.
Олардың ерекшелігі бірінші, олар сол заманда сол суреткерге деген қоғамның өзінің көзқарасы.
Firstly, the specific nature of these works appears within the viewpoint of society. The image of the woman must be opposite the Kazakh portrait. I think that this character and the peculiarities of a Kazakh woman must be planned out first, and you can notice them in the portraits of Kazakh girls and women of the 18th and 19th centuries.
Бірінші планға шығу керек деп есептеймін. Ана 19 ғасырдағы қазақ қыздарының, қазақ аруларының портретін қарап отырсаңыз, осы бар.
Our hero also tries to make his works well known all over the world. His piggy bank is full, and he's become a laureate in several international exhibitions.
Канапия ағамыздың ерекше қолтаңбасы. Рисунок жағынан, сурет жағынан, майлы бояу жағынан.
Our Kanapiya has a specific sign. His work is drawn with oil paints, and he has a Kazakh scent to his works. It is very difficult to describe the image of the person, his points of view and his inner world or appearance, and his kind of behavior and his beauty. Our Kanapiya was able to describe all of them accurately.
Оның ішіндегі байсалдығын көрсетіп, әдемілігін көрсетіп, адам табиғатын салу деген ол өте қиын дүние. Бірақ Канапия ағамыз оны көрсете алады.
Each hero and image in this work covers Kazakh history. Shokan Valikhanov, Akan Seri Koramsauli, Din Muhamedkanapiya, Bekzat Satarkhanov, these are all noble people of the nation, and they are like mountains, which have grown in height, even from afar.
Портрет дегенде құр портрет істеуге де болады, бірақ қанша
A portrait, well, you can make a single portrait, but it's really boring when you see only the head. The phenomenon becomes stronger when you have connected the inner nature of the character with the step.
байланыстырғанда құбылысы күшейіп,
The works of the master devoted to women are special. The destinies of these images and the heroes are different. The smiling woman is a Russian scientist, and the next image is the character of a sporty girl. You can even see on the surface of the canvas the images of the Almaty girl from the 1930s and 40s.
өнерде адам салу үшін бір сезімің керек. Эстетикалық образды байытады.
At first, you should feel the subject before making anything. To enrich the aesthetics of the image, you shouldn't erase a lot. I teach children not to erase a lot while they're doing their artworks, because it requires a lot of experience. Michelangelo even corrected his teacher's paintings at the age of 13.
Соны өзі шығарған, өзі түзеткен.
You can see the picture of the woman feeding her children in the workshop. There are no extra colors, but it is so close to your mind and your soul. To open up a portrait of a woman, the artist must be able to feel.
Мен оны былай жылдам сималап, сосын мына құр сызықпен сала бермедім. Мынандай көбейген сызықтарды кішкене былай әсерлі болсын.
So I didn't just draw with lines. I understood my mistakes after some works. Art must possess a magical power, but these lines can't impress much. You can see a lot of scribble, and the image of a woman is really beautiful. I call it the mother of the steppe.
Бірақ ана бейне, биік, даланың анасы деп бұны шығарған.
The following work is a specific one among the images of the girl and woman on the surface of a canvas. It's called Umit Saryarka. This is the image of his wife who held out hopes for the life of an artist and left this world.
Арасында махаббат болған. Ол кісінің ана дүниеге кетіп қалды ғой. Сол арадарында махаббат болғаннан кейін жиі ол кісінің портретін салатын. Портрет дегенде анау өзінің анау әйел бетінде.
He often draws her portrait as he loved her a lot. In the portraits, he distinguished his wife's beauty with the lines in a specific palette. The palette is gentle, and the lines are thin. They all open up her image. He describes the inner world and her point of view, the kind of activity of a person. The first thought of the artist is to describe the beauty of the inner world of his subject.
Сонда бір белгілі недер арасында бояулар. Сол салған образды ашады да, ол кісінің мына ішкі дүниесін неге адамдарға қалай көзқарасы салып атқан адамның ішкі ойдары, не саламен істейтін, ол кісі қандай салада істейді, соны көрсетеді. Сол қар жақтан қай жерде болмаса да, сол суретшінің мысалы ең бірінші ойы сол адамның ішкі дүниесін әдемілігін көрсетеді.
We should notice that this is a new sign in the art of painting. This is not oil painting or watercolor. It's an art of painting. This is a work made of lines.
Мәселе ол сыртының жылтырында емес, ішкі жан дүниесінің сұлулығында. Міне сондықтан ол қандай суреткер қазақ әйелін, қазақ аруын.
We mustn't pay attention only to external brilliance, but also to the beauty of the inner world. And that is why, if you want to describe the image of a Kazakh girl or a woman, you should research and pay attention to their inner world. Kazakh women are gentle, educated, and more patient than women of other nations.
Өзге ұлттардың қыздарына, әйелдеріне қарағанда, қазақ әйелі өте бір керемет, төзімді.
In fact, the Eastern masters of art often use the color yellow. They use it to symbolize the flowers in the paradise of God. Perhaps this is why painters use this color so much. His next work is devoted to the 550-year anniversary of the Kazakh Khan's power. The most important thing is that he's not going to lose his principle that art must make people happy and leave an impression.